morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for Coffee and Crypto on a beautiful Wednesday day, September 24th, and the market's looking pretty damn good. Obviously, ASTER, the talk of the town. We had Jerome Powell speak a little yesterday, and it seems the tribe wars are back in the crypto space, this time between centralized and decentralized exchanges, which is absolutely insane. And that may just be the new narrative for this cycle, which is good because that gives us a clear sign on what the heck is going on. Now, real quick, before I get into the news, and I'll greet you guys here in a second. Welcome, everybody. If you could smash the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you like being here. And if you're watching over on X, make sure to like, repost, all that good stuff. Obviously, recently they were saying that acetaminophen, not just Tylenol, but acetaminophen in general, which is like generic Tylenol, right? Says apparently, Donald Trump, obviously Robert Kennedy, right, said that it causes autism in children. For if you take Tylenol when you're pregnant, it could give your child autism, right? And I thought this was funny because it shows a lady saying, "This won't hurt my baby." She's taking Tylenol while she's pregnant, and then they are there now trading cryptocurrency, which I think is absolutely hilarious because we are kind of autistic in this space. And, I kind of got to believe Robert F. Kennedy with some of these vaccines and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like the government's batting 1,000. I currently have COVID right now, and I got both the vaccines against my will. Well, not against my will, but kind of had no choice kind of deal. You know what I mean? So very interesting that piece of news came out. But the overall crypto market looking pretty good today, guys. Pretty good. Obviously, ASTER is just dominating the cycle. It's absolutely insane. And yes, we're feeling bullish today. It's hard to tell where the market's going to go. Right. It seems like Bitcoin dominance is slowly slipping and altcoins are starting to, pump a little bit. But, maybe this is the altcoin season that we're having, and maybe won't get any crazier than this. And maybe we're getting altcoins like ASTER, Immutable X is ripping today. That's crazy. Like AVNT and these random altcoins coming out of nowhere, like Hyperliquid, right? These are all products of this cycle, like SUI. This is the altcoin season. I think a lot of people are expecting like Polkadot and Cardano and these other top alts like Kronos to do some insane things. And maybe that is just not the case. We'll see. Very interesting though. Obviously October, really bullish for cryptocurrency. And we can assume that we're going to absolutely rip next month. We'll see. But I think all signs point to pretty bullish times ahead. So awesome time to be in the space. And obviously ASTER is the talk of the town, right? Absolutely insane. First, I want to give a shout out to Javi for being #1 in the chat this morning. Good morning, Javi. How you doing? Yes, like and subscribe. Jayhawk says time to top blast ASTER. I might have to, right? I might have missed the boat on this one. We'll see. Rick Rock, good morning, Dr. MW Kitchen. But I love to see everybody else winning in ASTER, because I do think that it's kind of unstoppable, guys. I went down a deep rabbit hole yesterday and watching like ASTER content and people talking about it. And Virtual Bacon, shout out to him, which is one of my favorite crypto YouTubers and just crypto content creators in general. Very smart guy, much smarter than me. I watch this guy a lot. And he actually discovered ASTER a little while ago. And he talked about one thing that I thought was important about ASTER is that it's backed by a guy who was the previous CEO of a company at Binance that has infinite money. They're the dominating force in crypto. It's not even close. And CZ is the richest guy in crypto, and when you have all the, it kind of reminded him of when the PancakeSwap hopped into the scene back in 2020, right? Where it was just kind of like Uniswap, right? They saw the success of Uniswap, like ASTER saw the success of Hyperliquid. And at first, PancakeSwap wasn't as good as Uniswap, but then it got better over time. Obviously, PancakeSwap's still around today, dominating. Obviously, it supported the BNB chain. You had like PooSwap and stuff like that, other, BNB swaps, but PancakeSwap was the main one, right? And same thing with ASTER. Like, ASTER's UI is not the best, but it's going to get better. And it came to the space because they saw the success of Hyperliquid, like PancakeSwap did to Uniswap. And I thought that was interesting. And at the time, they had a supply issue where it seemed like the supply was infinite or something like that, but they got that under control later on. And it just seems like, in my opinion, ASTER may be impossible for ASTER to fail. Which is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about, right? It's kind of nutty Thank you so much, McTim, for reposting the stream. Jimmy says October can't come soon enough. I agree. Rodney, drink the teas I sent you. You sent me mushroom tea. I can't drink mushroom tea. I'm not trying to be high right now. I'm sober. But I appreciate it, Kayla. I do use your mug every single day, though. I got to tell you that. I love this mug. I know. I just, I think the best thing for COVID is just to sleep. And I for sure have COVID. I got a test, which sucks. But what's up, FOMO? How we doing? GM, Bud, how we doing? How we doing? Javi says, we'll see. Yeah, it's crazy. It's interesting, Javi, because remember, CZ did get in trouble, right? He did get in a little bit of trouble, but it's not the same as Sam Bankman-Fried. But before we start, Sam Bankman-Fried posted GM from prison. Now, obviously, this is somebody running his own account, right? This is somebody running his account. But that was interesting, right? Kind of weird timing. And obviously, CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried have quite a history. What's up, Awesome Austin? How we doing? What's going on? XCL Mafia in the chat. Awesome. What's up, GM, baby? Dude, we're ripping that. We're ripping Exceller, baby. But it was crazy. It's not all microdosing law. The tea is all natural. It just tastes like shit. It's SBF's mom who posted it. Oh, okay. So SBF's mom's posting that. So he's probably sending them letters and those sorts of things. But I wouldn't be surprised, right, if they're dropping an altruist hyperliquid, right? So that's the narrative of this cycle, guys. The narrative of this cycle may be perps, right? That could be the narrative of this cycle, which I think is interesting. That could be the dominating altcoin. Obviously, you have RWAs and those sorts of things, like buzzwords, AI, right? NFTs, metaverse, and shit like that, like the popular, you could say popular names or popular topics and those sorts of things. But maybe it's these dexes, which is going to be interesting. I don't know if any of them will be as successful as Aster just because of who's behind it. Like CZ is, we just realized how powerful CZ is in this space. It's crazy. It's actually nutty. And the thing about Aster is like, they're going to get listed on every exchange, bro. They just are. He has so many connections. It's nutty, And it's really interesting to see the response from the Hyperliquid guys, Real quick before I get into more Aster news, because I know a lot of people don't want me to just blab about Aster the whole time because you do like watching the stream for other news, I know. No, it's not Sam posting it. He can't be from jail. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, though. I've seen many criminals in jail post, but he's such a high-profile figure, it probably wouldn't make sense for him. No, Aster will not get listed on Coinbase. No, but every other exchange, Coinbase is big, but it's like, when it comes to volume, it's not like the top ones, Okay, so the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said the Fed is well positioned following a rate cut last week. So that's kind of what when you hear Jerome Powell speak. It's kind of like more or less. I mean, I wouldn't say always a nothing burger, but we know we're going to get interest rate cuts for at least the remainder of his time in office. Jerome Powell says uncertainty over inflation's path remains high, and that's something he talked about, during when we got the interest rate cut announcement. So we knew about that already. Treasury Secretary Bessent urges the Fed to deliver another rate cut in October. I think we're going to get another rate cut. We'll see. You still have to wait for it, more inflation data, jobs reports, those sorts of things to come out and see what's going on with that. But I can assume that we're going to get another rate cut. And thank you so much for the $5 donation, Frank the Tank. Thank you so much. Hope you feel better, brother. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for all the donations. I do appreciate that, brother. Ozm says, Coinbase hates everything BNB jerks. They do, keep in mind, Ozm, like Coinbase was around before Binance, and then Binance came in and did it better. That's kind of been like Binance. That's kind of been Binance's theme, right? Coinbase comes out first, Binance comes later, does it better. And look, I'm not saying that they're a better exchange. What I'm saying is they're the best in volume. You know what I mean? PancakeSwap, Uniswap. Now it's like, fuck. Even though Uniswap is so dominating, right? Jerome Powell, he did F us up. Usual shit from him. But the market responded quite nicely, at least the crypto market, Javi. So that's good. At least the market's ripping. Jesus fucking Aster. God damn, I have FOMO. It's crazy. My goodness. Holy dick, this thing is ripping. Anyway, sorry, guys. I had to react like that way, Jesus. Are you still planning on making the Aster buy? Do you guys really want that? I feel like it's just kind of like everybody knows how to buy it now. Like it's not that secret, I think it would do well over time. What I was thinking about is making some drama, some Aster drama content. That may do well. You know, when it comes to drama content, every time I make drama content, everybody watches that shit. You know, should I just FUD? Should I just FUD Aster? I mean, it's ripping, dude. It's ripping. I'm not gonna FUD it, but should I just FUD it? Like, you know, hey, I'm looking for an angle here, guys. You know what I mean? Give me something to work with. You know, should I just FUD it? Should I just talk shit about it? I just bought. Yeah, I know it's up 3x on our podcast. I know, awesome. You know what? Hey, man, sign up for our Telegram. Austin, let's get a fucking Telegram going, bro. Not Discord, because the feds can access Discord. I'm just kidding. Don't FUD my bags, fucker. I'm about to FUD the shit. You know what's crazy? A lot of Hyperliquid guys would watch my shit. That's what I thought of. I'm like, you know what? Guys, my platform couldn't do anything, right? I fucking hate Telegram, bro. Yeah, but you know, end-to-end encryption, allegedly, we'll fucking see. But this was interesting, right? So obviously we think we're gonna get rate cuts. I'm not sure if we got much from Jerome Powell's speech yesterday, you know, but it seems like we're ready to absolutely rip, baby. You know what I mean? Rippity dipper. But this is pretty interesting from this person that has HL in their name, so it's Hyperliquid in their name, right? He says, Hyperliquid was born from the mistakes of FTX and Binance, which let's clear something up here. That you can't compare FTX and Binance. Yes, Binance did something shady, and it was mostly because of proper KYC and those sorts of things, and securities laws, and pretty much a product of the old regulatory bodies we had in the United States, right? FTX was fucking different, okay? Let's not compare. It's not fucking apples to apples here. It's like apples to like fucking broccoli, you know? Yeah, they're fucking fibrous stuff, fruits and vegetables, but they're not the same, okay? They're just exchanges. Well, one was an exchange. The same Binance that liquidates the market whenever they feel like, sells off major on a daily basis, and has been accused of backroom deals for years. Now, that is a common narrative in the crypto space. We every time they say Binance is dumping the market, they're manipulating it, those sorts of things. That is interesting. That is a true narrative, okay? And yes, you know, I remember with Jake and I would go live, and we would see these random small cap meme coins getting listed on Binance. We would come and just dunk on, you know, like, dude, what the hell are they doing? Like, why are they listing these small cap meme coins that nobody, you know? Yeah, no, it's because we think that there's deals going on in the back room, right? It's just kind of awkward. It's kind of weird because usually, you know, with meme coins, they would have to build like a big, you know, community and, you know, have some sort of pool, I guess, and then get listed on Binance, right? It's proven time and time again. It's a variable replacement. Oh, excuse me, a viable replacement. And this industry has begged for something like this for a decade. They don't sell assets on the side. Every aspect of the protocol is transparent, and Jeff doesn't tweet bullshit. He's talking about Hyperliquid, right? I love G now. GM to my favorite Canadian. How we doing? So he's talking about, obviously, he's talking about, you know, CZ being very, very active on X, more like a KOL, like an influencer, and less like a, you know, a silent CEO like Jeff. Obviously, Jeff is the fearless leader of Hyperliquid. And CZ is kind of fucking going hard on X, which we do like, right? We love CZ in the space, you know? If Hyperliquid fails, it won't, which is interesting to say if it does and it won't. You should accept what crypto has become and decide whether or not that the future you want you should decide whether or not that's the future you want to participate in, which is kind of interesting, right? It's like, it's kind of getting mad that Aster's kind of mogging Hyperliquid. You know, it just kind of, it seems kind of funny to me, right? So this guy makes a good point. He says, you guys keep dreaming about some perfect angel of a leader taking us all to heaven. Hyperliquid is an unregulated exchange that doesn't perform KYC, facilitating billions of potential money laundering. More than likely, Jeff and team will face the same fate CZ did, which is kind of not, you know. And this is a pretty funny post because all these people have Hyperliquid in their name, right? So they're mad. And this guy says, I'm just a quirky centralized exchange founder. And that's pretty much how, you know, Binance, because, you know, CZ kind of plays dumb, you know. Hey guys, can you guys help me understand why I can't hit this many million followers? Like he kind of, you know what I mean? Like, okay, guy, you know, okay, we get it, you know, funny guy, you know. I'm not really part of the team. It is kind of fucking weird, you know? It is kind of weird that he's like that, you know? It's like, dude, fucking own it, baby. You're running shit right now. But this guy posts the case was separate from Binance's November 2023 guilty plea and $4.3 billion fine, right? Criminal penalty for violating federal anti-money laws, laundering and sanction laws through lapses in internal control. So pretty much what happened with CZ, right? Sorry, but I have a reading of a fucking third grader. I'm sorry. So what happened pretty much, obviously they weren't performing proper KYC. They were letting pretty much enemies of the United States, right? When they say, letting people use their exchange, even though they were sanctioned by the United States, which is like, okay, whatever, and obviously lapses in internal control was the whole KYC thing. And apparently people were, laundering money on their exchange. Seems like a bunch of this is like the old SEC, like kind of talking points kind of deal. So, and obviously CZ came to the United States and he faced the music, right? He didn't run away from anything. He came, he accepted the fine, went to jail for like 4 months, and is now, doing his own thing, So when people say like CZ is a criminal, I get it. Like, obviously, technically, yes, but this kind of stuff is like, well, he was just running an exchange and staying true to DeFi, right? He's not going to sit there and, even though they say they're supposed to KYC people, I guess they weren't properly. And being true to DeFi, like, you don't know who's using your exchange. Like, everyone can use it. That's the point of decentralization, right? But I guess, with the United States, there has to be checks and balances, and you can't let enemies of the United States use your exchange and those sorts of things. So that was kind of an interesting time in the crypto space, and it makes sense. It makes sense why he got in trouble. I think that I can't really hold it against him. It's different from Sam Bankman-Fried. You know what I mean? This person says, funnily enough, after SBF's tweet today, seems like he's still shunned. Meanwhile, CZ's involvement in other antics seem to have been forgotten by CT. But they're not the same. Like, SBF was doing something completely different, right? So it's important to understand that it's not the same comparison. So I did want to come out and support CZ a little bit, even though I think he is acting kind of like, oh my God, oh my God, like, no one knows, I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm just a guy on the internet. Like, you don't have 10 million followers and can completely control the crypto space. Nigga, we know you can. You know what I mean? Like, he is that guy. He is that dude, Own it, baby. But comparing CZ to SBF is completely unfair. And the hyperliquid guys are pissed off. And you know what? They can continue to be pissed off. You know why? Because I think Aster's going to dominate. There's literally no way Aster can fail unless the United States gets involved in some way. And let me tell you something. The theme of this cycle, I think, not going to be the same. Now, if this was Big Daddy Gary Gensler, it'd be different. But it ain't. It ain't. I'm telling you guys, Aster's going to fucking rip, baby. If you weren't bullish before, you better be bullish. It's going to be crazy. It's actually nutty. All right, what do we got here? But Hyperliquid is blocked in Washington State. How is it decentralized? Bend the knee. Yeah, exactly. And you can say what you want, but like I said, Ozzy, hey, man, dog eat dog world out there, Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, Kayla, what's interesting about that is that we saw MetaMask integrate with even I think Trust Wallet's ass, but MetaMask, was doing something with Hyperliquid. Now, Trust Wallet is doing something with Aster, which is hilarious. They're taking the playbook. They're doing what you did better, baby. And that's what it's about sometimes. You don't got to reinvent the wheel. You just got to make it better. So there's that. Hyperliquid guys pissed off, right? And look, check this out. So to rub salt in the wounds more of the Hyperliquid guys, you can see that Aster is dominating when it comes to 24-hour perp volume. So that's interesting. It's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy. Rodney, bruh, top blast already? I will not top blast. We are right at the door of the government finally choosing a blockchain or blockchains they will use. It's no reason to miss out next week. Easy 5x. Keep in mind, Jayhawk, that it's still like a 3x away from it's Hyperliquid. It's not too far off, right? When FOMO is at its peak, that's when shit starts to dump. You ape 2 to 3K and a me motherfucker ape. I'm good. I'm just saying that it's unstoppable. I don't know when it's going to pull back. I'm waiting for a pullback. It may never happen, but that's what I'm doing. I got to stick to that, I got to stick to that. Sometimes it works out. Most of the time it doesn't, but I just can't see a way that Hyperliquid over that Aster just does bad. I just can't see a way. I just can't see it. It seems unstoppable. All right, what else do we have for the news? Obviously, like I said yesterday, Sam Bankman-Fried posting is kind of interesting. Gives me 2022 vibes. Obviously, CZ was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, even though it was exposed, I think, by a crypto media outlet that, FTX was doing a bunch of shady things with, Alameda Research and FTX. And then obviously CZ was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and buy, we'll try to buy FTX, or buy them out and those sorts of things. And they said, we had somebody look through the inner workings of their company, and we said we wouldn't touch it pretty much. And CZ, sold all his FTT and pretty much destroyed Sam Bankman-Fried, right? You can't TA Aster right now either. It's too new and way too volatile. Yeah. All you can do is look at like what's going on. And what we know is that CZ is super rich, extremely rich. It's backed by Binance, which pretty much has infinite money glitch. They don't need to do anything. Maybe Hyperliquid was a threat to Binance down the road, and maybe this is their way to get back, even though CZ doesn't seem like it. I don't know. He's giving props to Hyperliquid, but he's a shark baby. Kevin O'Leary said it best when the whole FTX situation happened. CZ's a shark, and he might play dumb and happy foo-foo, and I don't know what's going on, guys. On X, he knows. He's a smart man. He's a very smart, sharp man. He's a sharp person, and he knew him coming out saying those things about FTX would fucking destroy FTX, and he knows Aster's going to take out Hyperliquid. He knows what he's doing. He's not stupid, I'm just a guy, I'm just what this person say. I'm just a quirky centralized exchange founder, It's over, bro. Hyperliquid, pack it in, baby. It's over. Pack it in. I'm sorry. He's smart, and this is what we were talking about with damn, she's hi, buy Aster $100 and leave it for 5 years. Sure, if you want. This is what we were talking about. Trust Wallet partners with Aster to add perps trading, offering up to 100x leverage, which is like, damn, I think Trust Wallet's ass, but I know a lot of people use it. Obviously, Trust Wallet's owned by Binance and stuff like that, right? Thought that was interesting. All right, that's Federal Reserve news. Obviously, CZ's trying to make true, but that awesome. But people are trying to TA. Yeah, it's you can't doing technical analysis for Aster is kind of retarded. Only because like it hasn't been out that long. Sorry if retard. I think we can say retard now. I do want to point out something real quick though on YouTube, and maybe like we're good now. But this is interesting. It's kind of what we all knew. Maybe I can say retard and COVID and trans and stuff like that, and I'll be okay. But check this out. So YouTube admits Biden administration pressured them to censor Americans, offers terminated channels opportunity to rejoin the platform. So people that were terminated because of the last, administration may be able to come back to the platform. That's pretty good. I love to see that. Yeah, but technical analysis, it's kind of weird for Aster because there's no history with it, right? But what we can say is that the foundation is super strong, man. It's super strong because CZ really hasn't been involved with any like direct crypto. Yeah, he's tweeted about meme coins before, and I thought he was kind of naive when he said, "I didn't know me tweeting about my dog would create a bunch of meme coins." Yeah, like yeah, you knew that ding dong, like you're CZ, you dingus. You knew that people were going to make meme coins if you were mentioning your dog. I don't know what fucking rock you're living under. You know what I mean? You know about the meme coin space. I thought that was kind of dumb and him kind of like, oopsie, But I think at the end of the day, he's a shark, bro. She's a very smart man, and he's not stupid. And he's coming after Hyperliquid's fucking Kool-Aid, baby. It's great. I love to see it. Kevin O'Leary said it first. He's smart. And obviously Kevin O'Leary hates CZ. He's just mad because FTX went under, But that's crazy, Trust Wallet is ass on par with Base Wallet. Yeah, Base Wallet's bad, man. I don't think it's good. I just don't think it's good. It's just trying to be too hip, trying to be too hip and too in. It's like we get it, dude. Like we get it. Maybe if more and more retail comes into crypto, not institutions just buying all the fucking crypto up, it'll do well. But really, retail's not really into crypto. It's just all recycled money for the most part, which I thought was interesting. This is another post from CZ. Whoa, now everyone wants a perp dex. More players will grow the market size faster. Rising tides lift all boats. Long term, the best builders win. DYOR. Yeah, the best builders and the people with CZ backing your project. Yeah, motherfucker. hey, may the best man win, huh? But Aster gonna win. But he did make this announcement, which look at, we knew, right? So this is on June 1st. This is like a post he made on June 1st. Given the recent events, I think now might be a good time for someone to launch a dark pool perp dex, which they knew Aster was coming out, right? Thank you so much, Alexandra. Good morning. How are we doing? Hope you're doing well. So smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and ding the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Yes, guys, we go live every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Would be nice to have you guys in the chat, right? He says this: I've always been puzzled with the fact that everyone can see your orders in real time on a DEX. The problem is worse on a perp DEX where there are liquidations. So he's talking about pretty much, the issue with, Hyperliquid is that everyone can see what the hell you're doing, right? And it'd be nice to have a platform, which he talked about in June, that maybe that wasn't the case. And obviously with Aster, they obviously got Aster, right? So that was funny. I just like the Hyperliquid guys. They're so pissed, bro. They're so pissed, bro. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Aster market share plummets to first place. Plummets. Why would they say plummet? That's weird. According to the latest data on CoinMarketCap, Aster 24 futures market shares is 66%. In other words, the vast majority of futures trading is on the chain. On the chain happens on BSC. Jeez. Damn. Fuck. Look at this right here. Look at like 2.5 times the size of Hyperliquid. Yeah, Aster's coded, yeah. So he says most overnight successes take years that others don't see. So that means, like Jake says it best. So that means he's been building Aster for years. He says, I wish I knew. Founders know better. Like this kind of stuff. Like, I wish I knew. Founders know better than me. Like, okay, nigga. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, okay. I'm just a quirky guy. Says, big cousin, you ushered in a new era again. The perp dex era. Keep building. No. Definitely not me. Credit has to go to Hyperliquid. Ooh, this has got to feel bad for Hyperliquid people, right? Ooh. Ooh, that's got to burn. Credit goes to Hyperliquid. I don't even run a perp dex project. I just shitpost. Ha 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 ha. Me. Ha 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 ha. Okay, CZ. Like this kind of thing, I just shitpost. It's like, no, you don't, dick. All right. He said he invested in the DEX market, so it shouldn't be surprised if he dumps them down to push up Aster further. I know. I did read that too, Midnight Decipher. I did read that, that, hey, maybe because he did dump FTT, but even Aster CEOs, yeah, I've heard him speak. He actually is goated. But keep in mind, let's not get it twisted. The reason why Aster is fucking ripping is because CZ's crazy public support, and even on their list of interns, right? I guess apparently something like that, let's not get it twisted, so like this is kind of like, this is the like, come on, okay, CZ, I just shitpost, maybe it's like a legal thing or something. Could be like a legal thing, I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. Aster Inu is the way to go. Oh my God, no way. Is there an Aster Inu already? Bearish divergence on the 2-hour, higher highs but lower lows on RSI. Jesus Christ. Does Aster have dark pools? Yeah, apparently they have dark pools, right? I think that's like the selling point, right? When regulation hits, it's coming for everyone, but only one guy has been through it and survived CZ. That is true. That is true, Kayla. And to be fair, like I said before, I don't think like first of all, see, Binance, American can't even, they're not supposed to be using Binance, right? Let's keep that in mind. Americans are not supposed to be using them. They might be using Binance. They're not supposed to. But they did get in trouble for, I guess not properly doing KYC and letting you're pretty much violating U.S. sanction laws, I guess, using countries that United States sanctions, user exchange, I guess, money laundering, those sorts of things, which seem kind of like foo-foo, fluffy bullshit, just to come after CZ to make an example out of him. But hey, they were able to pay the fat fine. He went to jail, and now they're better than ever, which is insane. And that's why I say they have an infinite money glitch, right? That's why Aster has that's why Aster is so, and that's why you're seeing people sell Hyperliquid for Aster. Is because they see the upside. Like people with massive amounts of money will buy Aster knowing that, yeah, it's a 3, something X away from Hyperliquid, but that's still a 3X on a massive amount of money, which is insane, right? F. Joe says, my brother from another mother. Who are we kidding? I don't know who my parents are. What's up, F. Joe? How we doing, baby? Don't worry. I don't know my dad either. Stereotypes are real, right? Except he didn't go to get milk. He went to get a King Cobra, 40 ounce. Never showed up again. Aster coded, I agree. And guys, if you could smash the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, but like to me, like CZ just saying this stuff is just kind of fucking weird, but because like we know what it is. Let's see what he says. True, but do you think that all these new perp dexes can actually sustain liquidity, or will only a few dominate in the long run? Of course not. There were 1,000 plus Bitcoin forks in 2011, blockchains in 2000. Yeah, that's true, right? Some are outright scams. Some are legit builders, but fail. Only a few will last. The same pattern. It's always the same pattern, DYOR. So he's talking about like perp dexes, right? It's going to be the next, it's going to be the next like kind of wave of crypto projects. And there's going to be a lot of scams. There's going to be some good ones. But let me tell you something. None of them have the backing of the #1 exchange in this space. And none of them have the backing of CZ. I'll tell you that. So none of them are going to get better. I'm telling you that. None of them. It's over. Aster and Xceller need to integrate. Yeah, dude, real quick, shout out to Xceller. And of course, check out the links in the description of this video. Xceller is a project that Awesome Austin and I. That'd be crazy, Awesome Austin, if that's kind of like a project we've been talking about. And it's kind of interesting that, first of all, we already raised $317,000. Shout out to the Xceller community for the pre-sale. It's kind of interesting that this, Aster is kind of blowing up at a time where Xceller is kind of coming out. It's weird timing, right, with privacy and those sorts of things. And that's what Xceller offers, obviously privacy on the blockchain a little bit, right? So that was like the main selling point, you could say, when Aster is looking at Hyperliquid. So shout out to Xceller. Hopefully it does well. About 6 days until we launch. So I'm pretty pumped for that, or the pre-sale closes, excuse me. And then the token's going to be launched shortly after that. So let's go, baby. And it kind of reminds me of like getting it early to some projects. Like some of them work out, some of them don't. Like if you can go back in time and buy BNB and those sorts of things and get in early, you would. Now, I'm not comparing this to BNB, but I'm saying it's getting early into some projects. Some don't work out, some do. So hopefully Xceller does well. But of course, if you want to check out Xceller, links to that is in the description of this video. Shout out to the XEL Mafia. But yeah, by the way, let's shout out our meal ticket. I know, right? That is true too. Yeah, Aster CEO is goated too. All right, check this out. This is new from Bubble Maps, guys. I don't know if you guys saw this. But this is pretty cool. So Bubble Maps obviously came out with like their new, obviously Bubble Maps has been big in this space, right? Bubble Maps has been like a huge player in the crypto space recently. Shows like how many cryptos are bundled, which is interesting because like it's good if something's bundled if you know the CEO and they don't need to rug the project, but it's bad if it's anonymous and those sorts of things and whatever. Like we don't want bundles in the crypto space pretty much, right? So info 5 for investigation. So it says crypto criminals will never be the same after this. And pretty much what Bubble Maps is doing is that they're offering like a bounty, I think, for people and are offering rewards for people who help solve crypto crimes, right?
Crypto criminal today, folks. Bubble Maps just rolled out Intel Desk, and I'm going to explain why it's going to change the way we interact with and expose crypto criminals in 2025. We've all seen the craziness on the timeline that happens when a security breach happens, a hack or an exploit or a data breach happens. For example, Coinbase, I'm talking about you. And the current problem that exists with getting these solved is that all of the researcher efforts are scattered. Everyone's working on different teams, groups, and what Bubble Maps wants to do is unite all of that effort into one community approach through the Intel Desk. For example, let's say a security security exploit is live through a wallet. A Bubble Maps token holder can go and open an investigation for this, and depending on the severity of the issue, people can also pledge their Bubble Maps tokens to make the investigation more appealing for the investigators to solve this. What that does is that increases the multiplier rewards for the case being solved. The holders aren't actually giving their tokens away, they're just using it to multiply the rewards given out. From there, people can contribute to the case, and as they find out data and contribute to this case, they get rewarded for it in the Bubble Maps token. And what it's doing is it's creating a decentralized investigative network. You can log on to the Bubble Maps Intel desk and see what cases are live if you want to contribute to it. You can open up cases yourself, and all of this data is being stored within the Intel desk. So in the future, you can log in and see all of these investigations, see maybe what you need to be watching out for, or keep up with anything going on investigation related within crypto. This is going to make crypto infinitely safer and easier for people to interact with in the future, which is what we so desperately needed. Shout out to Bubble Maps for working with me on this video and dropping an incredibly valuable tool for the community, which will be used very much in the future, and for dropping a tool that is going to be so incredibly valuable for the community. Make sure to follow Bubble Maps at Bubble Maps on Twitter to learn more about the Intel desk and on everything going on within their community.
So obviously this is like a promotion. I don't know, paid promotion. I don't know, does this guy work for, but like that's actually pretty cool that Bubble Maps is your favorite trader, your favorite trader's favorite trader. Okay. That's pretty cool though. Shout out to Bubble Maps. Why did JP Morgan invest 500 million into Numerai? Did they really, Brandon? I actually made a video for Numerai not too long ago, or like a year ago. I made a video for Numerai. That was actually a pretty good one. I think that's like Numerai is one of the original AI like crypto products. I think it came out in 2018, and it's like market predictions, like kind of deal, like predicting the market. So that's interesting. Is that true? That's actually interesting. Wow. I'd be doing promos for anybody, you know? Let me see. Numerai, JP Morgan. Yeah, they do signals. No, did they really? Oh. Yeah. So JP Morgan commits 500 million to AI hedge fund Numerai. Well, that's actually interesting. Interessante. Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Shout out to them. That's actually a big deal. AI hedge fund, you know, back before AI was cool. To be fair, it was back before AI was like literally a thing. A good catch up, Brandon. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's see why they did. I guess we can talk about that for a second. I mean, it just happened, I guess, you know, a little less than a month ago, a little more than or less than a month ago. Security committed up to next year. So pretty much, okay. So Numerai confirmed Tuesday that the allocation will be deployed over the next year, with returns tied to its crowdsourced trading models built in by thousands of data scientists worldwide. So pretty much, Numerai does is they get a bunch of fucking smart ass people to make their AI model like the best when it comes to like prediction markets, I guess, right? And they're a hedge fund, right? Since its inception in 2015, okay, 2015, not 2018, Numerai has expanded its assets under management to roughly 450 million, with most of that growth occurring over the past year. That's crazy. So, you know, a project around since 2015 is doing big things like that. I love that. In 2024, the hedge fund delivered a net return of more than 25% through strategies combining crowdsourcing, artificial intelligence, digital assets, and other quant-driven approaches. That's actually fucking crazy. 25% through strategies combining crowdsourcing, artificial intelligence. That's actually crazy for those sorts of returns, right? Let me see their price and MR. So maybe, you know, it's a way for JP Morgan to get into the crypto space, kind of, right? Maybe they liked it, but obviously the price still it's probably not the best. Is this all time? Oh, all time. That's actually not bad, you know. But that's pretty cool. Shout out to Numerai. Could be a banger. You know, only $123 million market cap size, which is, you know, pretty big. Which is pretty crazy, you know. All right, what else we got going on? Obviously, CZ coming out, sending Aster to the fucking sun. Oh, you know what was crazy about Tylenol, guys? They actually made this post back in 2017 saying, "We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today." Right? And so people are like, which I thought was funny. So apparently there's gonna be a big lawsuit against Tylenol, right? Unless they said that on the bottle, we don't recommend while taking pregnant, even though they probably did, right? I'm sure a lot of things on their bottles say like, do not take while driving, pregnant, those sorts of things, you know, which I think is pretty interesting. I know. What do you guys think about that? The whole Tylenol situation. Do you think it causes autism? What else do we have going on? Oh, and this is, remember the Arthur Hayes guy? The guy who like bought a bunch of Hyperliquid, said it was like 120x or something like that. And then I think he dumped a lot of it for Aster, maybe. I'm going to taste Tylenol and buy. I'm going to go taste Tylenol and buy more Aster. Let's go. Dive into his thesis for why Bitcoin could hit 3.4 million by 2028. That's kind of crazy, right? What's good, bro? You take any trades recently? I would say I've been buying the dips a lot, but I know that a lot of people are winning in Aster, Gennaro. This is kind of crazy. 3.4 billion by 3.4 million by 2028 is kind of crazy, right? I mean, this is the same guy who was talking stuff about Hyperliquid, which I thought was insane. And then dumped it all, right? I want to see what he said about this. Did he make a post on this? Let's see. Oh, he says, this is why we dumped hype today. Don't worry. 126x is still possible in 2020. It's still possible. 2028. 2028 is a long way off. So they did dump Hyperliquid. So they did dump their hype today. Or excuse me, they did dump their hype that one day, September 21st, right? What's up, Ash? Second, how we doing? Welcome, welcome. I thought that was interesting. People are talking shit. Yeah, so this was the big story, right? Arthur Hayes just sold 96,000 hype for 5.1 million. Only 3 weeks after predicting it could pump up to 120x in the coming years, which I thought was interesting. So, you know, when people say these sorts of things, they only mean that at the time, you know, until a shiny new object comes into space like Aster and they say, hey, man, that's got the back end of CZ. Let's fucking ape, you know. Come join the Discord, Roddy. We'll get you coded. Which Discord? Is there an Aster coded Discord? Aster. I'm not really like an Aster maxi. You know, it's good. You know, it's a good talking point. But if you got in heavy, do congrats because it's gonna go up. It's gonna fucking rip. You can expect to see the crazy price predictions like $100 and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Jake's doing a Discord. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Aster coded, baby. It'll pump. Let's see. HBAR is having an ETF happening. Apparently, that's pretty interesting. So Canary filed a pre-effective amendment to its HBAR ETF application. I mean, does anybody really care about ETFs anymore, except for like the Bitcoin one? Really? You know, that's actually interesting, right? Does anybody really care about ETFs? And see the market, dude. Aster's ripping, dude. I'm just trying to make 10K to ape Lofi. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you know, Swee's kind of taken a back seat a little bit, right? Like Swee has kind of taken a back seat a little bit. And I think, you know, especially after the whole CETUS protocol thing, they kind of lost momentum. I'm not saying they're done at all. They'll get it back, but that's been interesting, right? Swee's kind of cooled off a little bit, right? I mean, still top 15, you know what I mean? Just do it. I'm not a big Discord person. And I'm definitely not a big Discord person for one asset. And I'm actually going to be moving, guys, here very soon in about 8 days. So I'm going to be packing everything up. So a lot's going to be on the laptop, and then I'll get to my new spot, and then we're really going to fucking send some stuff. We're going to get some good things going when I get back to VA. But we're going to be moving and stuff, which is going to suck. But moving is the worst. Luckily, I don't have a lot of things to move, but you guys can expect that. But once we get all settled in, it'll be fun. And guys, make sure to come to the spaces at 8 p.m. where me, Austin, and now Crypto Empress was there too, which was pretty awesome. We had a pretty big space last night. So come hang out, chill some shit. It'd be nice to see you guys there at night. I need bangers. I'm tired of being broke. Yeah. No, Virginia has COVID. I know. Oh, my chick's in Virginia, and I think, well, it could have been Tampa too, but I just don't like. I honestly don't like it here. I just don't like Tampa. Yeah, moving. Wait, is this new? You guys didn't know that? I'm not a big fan of Tampa, guys. Cheaper. Like my cost of living is going to go down like 70% just living in Virginia, anyways. When you move, your best friend won't answer the phone. When you move, your best friend won't answer the phone. No, they will. But you know, I'm getting old. You know, I'm 35, man. I'm just trying to chill out. You know, be around some green shit. You know, just relax. No, we're actually gonna go fucking. We're gonna go. What don't you like about Tampa? I don't like Tampa. I just don't like. First of all, I don't like the neighbor. I don't like the people I'm around. To be honest, it's kind of posh. It's kind of not me. You know, and it's really hot. I don't like that. I like to be close to snowboarding. You know, that's cool. Like the winter is snowboarding is big for me in the winter, so I'd like to be close to like some snowboarding. Resorts, and really mostly it's just cost of living. You know what I mean? 35. Damn, dude. The cost of living sucks. You know, the cost of living it's really expensive here. It's like, why? You know, why do I need I don't need all this fancy stuff. I just want a nice little house with a nice little yard. Got my chick over there, you know. And pay, and it just spends so much less money a month, you know? And then to be honest, I was way more locked in Virginia than I was here. I was way more locked in, less temptation, you know? Cause it's like, there ain't shit going on in Charlottesville, Virginia. Let me tell you that there ain't shit going on, you know? And so I'll be way more locked in and whatnot. And I'll probably start working on my other channel too. I had a reaction channel that was doing so well, but YouTube demonetized it. But I think now with the whole, YouTube like pretty much like coming out saying that we fucked a lot of people over because I was talking about controversial topics. Maybe they'll remonetize my old channel. My other channel was doing so well. I think I got more views on my other channel than I got on this channel, and I had that channel for like I don't know, like 2 months. So my reaction channel was doing very, very well, and I want to get that going again. But I was like super locked in at the other location, you know. I am going to miss Jake Gagan, though. I am going to miss Jake. But I think it's time for me to lock it in and be at a place where I'm just, you know, I'm getting old, guys. I just want to chill. You know, I like Virginia, bro. I love Virginia. It's so chill, you know, and green. And there is shit going on, but, you know. I'm 33 right behind you, Rodney. Pause. Yeah, pause, dude. Come to the 757 area. What's that? What's up, Brooke? How we doing? When are you making a shill and chill video? Me and Awesome are doing shill and chills at night. We're gonna let people chill on our channel. You know, shut up, you're getting old. I just don't want to be around the craziness. You know, like there's a lot of things I haven't really talked about, guys. Like personally, that's been going on. I haven't really talked about or shared. But let's just say getting away from this nuts madness for me would be good for me overall. You know. And whatnot. Baby Roddy's next winter? I don't think so, bro. It might be shooting blanks at this moment, you know. But yeah, we're going to Virginia, you know. I'm going to fucking Charlottesville, you weirdos. I love you guys, but no, I'm going to Charlottesville. I'm about to throw my shit in a U-Haul and whip that shit down there, baby. You know. Come to hell no, I ain't going to Georgia. I ain't going to Georgia. Fuck no, nigga. Shoot anyways, that's right, baby. Red hair, colored eyes, hella babies, you won't last, no man can. Red hair, colored eyes, hella babies, you won't last. No. I'm trying, bro, but you know, no virgins in Virginia. It's a simple life down there, you know. What's up, Crypto Alchemist? How you been? Good to have you here. I'm missing your stream. I'm good, man. Just watching Aster fucking rippity dippy, baby. I got the COVID, guys. It's not as, it's like a common cold kind of, you know, like a worse cold. I don't feel that bad. Maybe it's going to get worse though, but 215 is Philly. Get out of here, Philly. Get at it. We actually played the Buccaneers. Wait. First of all, which football team am I going to support now, guys? Are we going to support the Commanders? No, I think I'm just going to go back to the Chargers. Yeah, I know they're 3-0 right now. Let's not. But I am from San Diego. I'm actually from San Diego, so I can't support the Buccaneers now, you know? Get your HIV in Georgia. Okay, Brandon. Tell her dress in cosplay. She either going in a wheelchair or Boom Twins. What's up, Crypto Alchemist has got an ass around 90 cents. That's awesome, bro. I've been thinking about top blasting, but I'm not. I know I'm getting wrecked here. I know. It feels bad, man. You know, I got to admit, it does feel bad to not get an Aster early, but I do got the vid. What's up, Tony Punch? How we doing? Tony Punch. Hey, Rodney. What's up, Aether Media? Who's that? What's up, Tony? How we doing? Welcome. Tony. Oh, yeah, Tony, you're from Awesome Stream. Tony, hey, Tony. How we doing, baby? Welcome to the stream. Do it for me. Get dialed in. Yeah, oh, my God. Okay. No, it's going to be a good move. You know, it's going to be a great move. I'm pretty pumped for it. I'm moving to my old place, so you guys are going to be used to the background. What's up, Tony? Welcome, Tony. Huh? Tony, welcome, man. I see like your little black emoji hand, so you must be black too. So Tony, welcome. We got more colored people in the stream. We got Jayhawk here. We got Mizzy Matt, who's colored. We got Bud, also colored. Who else is colored in the stream? I think that's all I can verify, you know, who are colored people in here. So welcome. Change your environment? Absolutely, yes. You going to make a short on Aster? IDK, what's going on? Am I going to make a short on Aster? I just think like making a how to buy video is kind of redundant. People know how to buy it, right? Bruh, go to watching golf now. I'm gonna start up my reaction channel again though. So if you guys want to subscribe, I'll get you guys the information to that. I'm gonna hopefully get monetized again on the other channel because it was going well. You've been making bad decisions like that QB thing. F Joe, I've had the QB thing for years, my guy. Okay. Not a how to buy, like what is going off. Maybe that's a good idea, PRJ. Maybe that's a good idea. What am I? Oh, shot liver. I'm colored. I know, DB. Why didn't see you in the chat, DB? I know, dude. We can tell you're colored. No one else. Only a colored man would have a fucking burgundy suit, you know, with a fucking little hat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Cuban, Spanish, Italian, and French. That's dad's and mom's side, but my skin color is like a medium tan. Well, you're colored now, and so is Thomas. Thomas, welcome. Thomas is an honorary colored person. Welcome. I like the QB. Thank you, Brandon. Brandon likes the QB thingy. Okay. F Joe, how are you gonna roast my QB thing? But ask me, I'm not moving to Puerto Rico. Why? Yes, the taxes are different, but it's still Puerto Rico. I'm doing well, Thomas. How the hell are you, brother? It's still Puerto Rico, you know. Let's keep it a buck. Rodney, do you have a lot of family in the South? Rodney? I do not. Even though Rodney is a Southern name, like there's a lot of people named Rodney in the South, but I'm actually from the Pacific Northwest. I have a lot of family in Washington State. I'm from the West Coast pretty much. So there's that. I'm from Tacoma, Washington. But why the small pump today? That's very interesting, Thomas. I don't know. But what I can say, Jerome Powell spoke yesterday, and who knows? He's pretty much been saying the same shit we already know, right? But we did see, you know, the S&P doing well. We did see gold doing well, and maybe crypto's following it now, you could say. You know, Rod is a porn star name. All right, guys, what would your porn star name be? Mine would be Magic Johnson. Now, I know about the HIV thing, but I think Magic Johnson is just too good to pass up. But I would say that, Thomas, maybe we're just following the rest of the markets. Bitcoin doesn't follow gold, you know? No, just me, but we don't claim him. You guys are wilding. The dictator? He must have farted today then. GM, bro. What's the AB? How we doing? I got colored in me at night sometimes. Oh my God. Kayla. That's a good name. It's so positive. Oh, that was good, F. Joe. Cascadian Seduction Zone will make world news. Brandon, is that your porn name? 21 inches. Golly, I don't know. That might be a disability, dude. Mine would be Orgasmo. You know what? I've asked people a lot about like different questions, and this is the most responses I've gotten. And I asked you guys what your porn star name would be. Okay. You guys felt compelled to answer that, but couldn't answer other questions. You guys are crazy as hell. I'm like, where's everybody from? Crickets. What's everybody's favorite food? Crickets. What's everybody's porn name? 21 inches. Pete Jones? That's pretty good. Mr. Jiggles? Ugh, why? my porn name is Silver Fox. I get it, because you're, got the gray hair a little bit. Bud Sins. That's funny. Merge, because it's like a merge sign. Oh my god. Oh my god, because it looks like a merge sign. Nasty. You nasties. Everybody's walking into the stream for the first time, maybe a little perplexed, but what I will say, could be Graybush. All right. Cuban, Spanish, Italian, and French. That's my dad's name. Did you repost the same comment, Tony? Oh, your skin is like medium dark tan. Okay. I get it. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, we welcome you. Welcome. One of us. Laughing cures COVID. I hope it does. Dictatorship. I love it. The fuck. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. All right, let's see how the market's doing over the last hour. So, oh my God, look at the market over the last hour, guys. It's over. We're all flipping red. It's over, guys. Everybody sell everything. Yeah, I didn't have it in the chat. I had it on top chat, so I didn't know if it went through. Sorry. No, we did. I did see your chat, Tony, and now we're welcoming you as an honorary black person now. You're welcome. Welcome to the stream. The market has flipped red over the last hour, which pretty much means nothing. Bitcoin's at $113,000 today. Obviously, it's interesting. Ethereum, man, down to $4,100. We could see a little more capitulation when, maybe the last week of the month. Maybe the market does nothing and rips in October. But I wouldn't be surprised if we had some more, moves to the moves downward, right? Obviously, they say PUMP-tober PUMP-tober is PUMP-tober for a reason, right? But Bitcoin looking good at 113,000, right? Some girls called it stop, even yelled, not sure what that was. Oh my God, stop, F. Joe. Milty Waters. F. Joe, that shit made me spill my coffee. A lot more black people are getting into crypto, Rodney, believe it or not. I didn't say they weren't. It's all coming down, sell it all. That's right, Austin. Sell it all, baby. It's over. Or sell everything else and buy the dip. That's what you could do, That's what you could do. Dump it. Dump it all, baby. Hey, Austin, we have Tony. Tony, who's now a colored person. He's now in our stream, Austin. I'm stealing all the colored people from your stream, Austin. Okay, it's time to start spreading some rumors about Austin and his love for Hitler. Yeah, the Hitler. All right, guys, I gotta scare all the colored people away from Austin's stream. All right, guys. Austin's a Nazi. What can I say? Plain and simple. I didn't want to be the person to tell you guys. I was on the phone with him yesterday, and he kept saying, 9999, I don't make the rules, Austin. I'm sorry to expose you here. I know. Smegminator, that is the most disgusting name ever. I'm just kidding. Austin's not a Nazi, guys, if I didn't have to tell you that. Clip it. Do not clip that. Clip guy, do not clip that. Hey, but if you guys missed our space last night, we're having another one 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was popping last night. We gave away $200. Make sure to pop in. Awesome says, if only Hitler could grow a beard like this. You know what? He probably couldn't, so he probably settled on that dumb little mustache style. And can you imagine, like, that mustache style was probably hot in like the 30s and the 40s. It was crazy, you know, and now he ruined it. You can never wear that mustache style ever. I bet 100 years from now, you can't wear that mustache style, you know, and you can't even name your kid Adolf anymore. Adolf's not a bad name, you know. Keep abusing the N-word 9. Yeah. All right. I got to send this Filipino some money. Damn, Brandon, who? Don't confuse with blonde hair for grays. You'll strike a nerve. No, Austin's beard is legendary, right? Andrew Schultz wore that mustache for a minute. I know he did. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. Charlie Chaplin swag. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here for the day. I got the COVID. I'm going to go rest. I feel terrible. I'm heating up right now. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for all. Wait, 1 second. I wouldn't call it color, Rodney. I don't think you can mistake me for a black person, but my skin is really, really, really tan. You could possibly mistake me for being Spanish. You know, we're all the same, right? We're all the same, baby. You're not, you're colored, you know? But Tony Punch, I appreciate you. Everybody, my skin tone is almost like yours, though. You just don't have the wide nose having, right? Yeah, I do have COVID, Austin. Yeah. I'll send you the test. I'm fine, though. I'm fine. I just got to rest, but I'll send it to you. I'm fine, though. I got the COVID. Yeah. Which sucks, but and I'm moving this week too, which is actually terrible, you know. Bad timing, but all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Stop licking windows, bro. And I'll see you guys tonight. Awesome. If you're streaming today, make sure to hang out with Austin later on, I think in about an hour from now, right? I love y'all. Peace. Goodbye.